The death toll in Sri Lanka rising steeply overnight. Now it's sitting at some 290 people after a coordinated attack involving some 6 suicide bombers tore through a string of churches and high-end hotels on Easter Sunday. The government today blaming a little-known radical Islamist group for the devastating attack, saying it had received help from an international terrorist organisation. But authorities are now under fire, with reports security forces were warned at least 10 days earlier that the group was planning attacks against churches. Apparently, no action was taken, with top government officials saying the warning never reached them. The carnage beginning at around 8:45 a.m. local time. 6 of the 8 bombings taking place in the capital, Colombo. This dashcam footage shows the moment a bomb is detonated at St. Anthony's Shrine, the first of 3 churches to be targeted. Today, a controlled explosion outside that same church. This after authorities defused another improvised bomb discovered at the main airport in Colombo Sunday evening. Today reports police finding 87 bomb detonators at Colombo's main bus station. The entire country put on lockdown until early this morning amid fears of more devices. Police arresting 24 people in connection with the suicide bombs. On the holiest weekend of the Christian calendar, hospitals opening their doors to scores of victims. With some 500 others injured in the attack, which officials are calling a brand new type of terrorism and the worst violence the country has seen since the end of its civil war a decade ago.
While at the Mass, my eyes were closed because I was worshipping. As soon as I closed my eyes, there was a loud noise with a cloud of smoke.
We heard a loud explosion and everything collapsed. We managed to protect the children and come around from behind. But when I came here, I found out that my son-in-law and my son had died.
I still feel like I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and everything will be a dream.
Now, Arie Kruglanski is a distinguished professor in psychology at the University of Maryland, an Israeli-American who's also a co-founder and senior investigator at the National Center for the Study of Terrorism and the Response to Terrorism. Professor, thank you for your time. Now, looking at the sheer scale of this attack and the number of people taken in for questioning over it, it's clearly a sophisticated operation involving a great many number of people. Take us into the mind of someone or many people motivated to carry out such a violent crime.
These are people who are identified with a cause. In this case, it's a religious cause, ethnic religious cause. The conflict between Buddhists and Muslims is of long-standing tradition, beginning in Syria with the destruction of a Buddhist temple. There were also accusations that Muslims sacrilege the Buddhist sacred places in Sri Lanka, and there have been attacks by Buddhist monks, extremist Buddhist organizations on Muslims in Sri Lanka in several recent years. So it's a identification along religious lines, spurred by the long-standing conflict between Buddhism and Islam, and of course between Christianity and Islam, in the sense that the West has been likened to crusaders, and the conflict has been channeled into religious directions, and religion is a very powerful ideology that motivates violence like none else.
But give us a bit of insight into the psychology, because we're looking at several suicide bombers here. How do people who are encoded with a survival instinct find themselves in such a mindset that they're willing to blow themselves and others up? What's the reward?
The reward is a quest, is a sense of great significance, a great glory that is going to be bestowed upon them by their group. They are Muslims, or they are Christians, or they are Hindus, or Buddhists. If they act in self-sacrificial ways for their group, they are gaining the respect, the veneration, the admiration. They become heroes and martyrs. And the quest for significance is a universal human motivation, probably, in my mind, one of the strongest motivations that there is, to the point of justifying suicide, justifying taking a risk on your life and limb. And in this particular case, suicide bombing is, for many, the gate to heaven, if not actual heaven, at least the glory, being a venerated member, hero, martyr of their group. That's a very, very powerful motivation that overcomes, we have seen it time and time again, the survival instinct.